Thank y'all, man. It was a nice, man. Look, man, it's nice to be here, man. Look, it's just lovely. It's lovely.
For sure. So my name, so kind of what DJ Don said. My name is Vondell. I go to school here at San Jose State. Going here to my major is I'm in the communicative and disorder and sciences major. Going to school to become a speech. I'm going to school to try to become a speech therapist. I graduate this May.
Yes,
you know what I'm
sir.
saying?
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm super excited for that. And then hopefully well, I want to go get my master's. So hopefully they accept me in, and then so the rest is good.
Where are that you trying to get your master's from, bro? Like, where they at?
I'm trying to go here. I don't want to go nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? Coming from Alaska and then going from Alaska to LA to Hayward, and now Hayward to San Jose. I'm like, the Bay is kind of where it's at.
Yeah. So, what's up, y'all? Look, I am Antoine. I went to Berkeley, so that's why I asked them, like, where you trying to have your master program? Like, man, we would love to have you on the other side of the Bay, but we love San Jose as well.
Nice. So just today, I appreciate DJ Don having us on here. So today's topic, what we're gonna talk about today, is talking about, raising awareness to stuttering, but kind of talking about, how stuttering has also, impacted our lives. Kind of as you know, as you already, me and Antoine, we have a speech impediment, and so kind of today, we kind of want to talk about stuttering and stuttering in our experiences and how we went through it. So for those who don't know who stuttering is, I looked at the definition. So I found a definition for y'all. So it says, stuttering is a speech disorder characterized by repetition of sounds, syllables, or words prolonged by sounds, and also known as interruptions, and also known just as blocks. So kind of as you listen kind of with us, you can kind of hear, repetition. You can hear blocks. Blocks is like, where you stop or you have a hard time over a word. So that's kind of what stuttering is. So kind of to get into that, Antoine. So like, I know we both have speech impediment. When did you start to really gain awareness, or when did you start to like understand your speech? When did that start to like happen?
I'll say the first time that I was aware of it was like at a pretty young age, man. Like elementary school, knowing that I could not speak as smoothly as others.
Sure.
But see, look, that I never really, I never really knew what really it was, so look, I tried to go to like a speech class,
Yeah.
but only to get out of class. So for all my young people out there, stay in school. Y'all better go to class, man.
Yeah.
So what is about you, man?
Yeah, I think like kind of at a young age, I would say the same thing. I think around elementary school, I went to a school in Alaska, so mostly around there, most of the kids were in there were predominantly white in there, so I was like the only like almost like black kid in my classes, or just at that time. So kind of like from elementary, almost kind of close to 6th grade, where most of my classes there, where I was mostly like, I mean, I was one of two or even one of three, you know what I'm saying? But I think like elementary school, when I started to figure out myself a lot more, I was a lot more aware, because I think that like when I started to like, I think as a young age, you know, like, yeah, you know, elementary school, that's where you started getting, you started to figure out your classmates, your friends, you understand, your teachers. And so I think I really started to notice like my speech is like kind of when like, I mean, this is kind of my first triggers when like I started to really not have like a lot of friends.
Oh,
You
see, and not to cut you off, but to me, that never was my problem.
Yeah.
But my friends, like in quotations, like we was close,
Yeah.
but we used to talk about. They used to really tease me often. Like,
sure.
man, it was called like a roasting session.
Yeah.
in which look, I can hold my own, like, man, of course, but that led to like a lot of fights.
Yeah.
But yeah, that never really. But yeah, no, man, I always had people around me. But that's crazy that you say that, though.
Yeah, because like I'm saying, because I think like, I mean, kind of when you stutter, right? Like you're really vulnerable.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like a thing you can't hide. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause you gotta like speaking. You can't like. I mean, you could choose to not speak, or you can choose to speak. So I feel like as like a young kid, you know what I'm saying, I got teased a lot too as a young kid, and you know, I mean, I don't know if it was like people. I mean, I used to get picked on in reading class sometimes, and I didn't want to read because I just knew that like that if I spoke in class, you know what I'm saying, that I was gonna get made fun of or someone was gonna laugh. So I think in elementary school, it came out like in social groups. So when it came to like recess, you know what I'm saying, like the kids didn't really want to. I mean, they didn't really want to play with me. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, but the only way I only feel like I was accepted, like when it came to elementary school, was when we wanted to play sports.
Yeah.
Because sports, you know what I'm saying, I was good at football, you know what I'm saying? Oh, we want him on our team, you know what I'm saying? I'll throw the ball, run the ball. You know, in Alaska, so we run on the ice, you know, play tag on the ice. But I think
This man
like
from Alaska,
I mean,
y'all.
but I think like as like a young age, I think that like I started to gain it. I'm like, man, you know, why don't kids want to play with me? You know what I'm saying? So I think that like I was just so I was a lot more different than those kids in that classroom. So I feel like I was like really alone. So I got super insecure, and I just tatered, and so I just catered to just man, sports. And so like when it came, so I mean there was times where, you know, I used to get sent down. I used to get sent down in the principal's office every day. You know what I'm saying? Like I wish they had like my own seat with my name on it, because when I went there, I knew where I was sitting. You know what I'm saying? But I mean when I got older, you know what I'm saying, I got to understand, I was like, oh, I think I was acting out a lot in class, because I think I didn't really know how to deal with, being the only like young black kid in the class. I didn't know how to deal with, with the insecurity of stuttering. And so I feel like the only way I could really like feel heard is like if I acted out. And so that's kind of how I used to like kind of cope with it. And kind of like what you said too, like, you know what I'm saying, they used to take me out of class and have me read books. But like, I mean, I think I'll say one of the teachers, but like they told me that my comprehension was like very low as a kid. So I mean, I didn't know if like, reading, comprehension has always been a thing of mine, but kind of like you said, right? I mean, I'll get pulled out of class and they would have me read, you know what I'm saying, read different books. And I mean, at that time, it really didn't do much for me. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I didn't really understand. But I was like, dang, they taking me away from, class time. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to, watch Reading Rainbow. You know what I'm saying? Reading Rainbow is that show.
What is Reading Rainbow? I never even heard that before.
Reading Rainbow. You know what I'm saying? Like that was just, but that was my show. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I think as a young age, I think that like that's when I started to like really like, started to really like. I started to isolate, because I was like, man, the way how my friends are actually responding is in a way that they don't like me or they don't want to be a part of me. So I'm like, dang, let me just keep to myself.
See, that's crazy. So I would say my friends reacted a little bit differently. But that you said it earlier too about getting getting called on to read in class, I used to hate it with a passion.
For sure.
I used to be like I used to time it up right. It's a little like,
Sure.
okay, man, is
Hope they don't pick on me.
this person read last? So look, I'm gonna ask the teacher and look if I can go to the bathroom or something. It's find my way around it. Because of course I could read, but it's like it just takes longer for a younger kid
For sure.
to really gain that type of awareness. And also it's just some people just don't have the patience. They lack of understanding. And so look, I grew up in Oakland, right?
Yeah.
And shoot, it wasn't too pretty. Man. They let me have it sometimes, and some days they loved me. So it's a little like a love hate thing. So but though overall like recess like you was said that like it's like you were saying like it was all love there. But shoot, in the classroom and as when it came down to like comparing because of like as in our weakness is out there, that you can't really hide that, it's just as spam. Look, it's right there. Look, unless that you don't stay silent or your life, and who wants to do that, But look though, I know people that actually that are super shy and that are not like allow that. But it's that will allow that to like really keep them cautious, I'll say. So though, look, I would just look I would encourage all them to man, go and let your wings fly, man. Just go for it. Just go for it. Just jump.
Yeah. I would definitely say that too, and I think that like, I think even too. That's why now that I'm older now, I'm like, I wish that, which I had one teacher. Her name was Miss Rose. That's one of my favorite teachers, and she really cared for me a lot. And even at times when I acted up or I got sent in trouble in class, she was always the one that always. Like she vouched for me, hey, you come to my class, you come chill, even though in trouble you got me. So, but I think like even like now, I'm like, man, I do wish now, but even too, like for those who are listening, I'm like, man, like being a teacher or being a clinician, like, man, people who started, they just need more support. They need love. Like they don't need to be fixed. They just need more love. But I mean, I kind of want to tap into one of like, man, I know we both played football. You know what I'm saying? So how was like, you know what I'm saying? And you was, you went to Cal, you know what I'm saying? Playing football over there, and even too, you was a little big time JUCO, but
JUCO.
how was, like, how was it like, knowing, coaches would come and speak to you, they would come and talk to you, or when you had to meet coaches, like, how do you think the coaches like viewed your speech? But then how did you honestly feel when they came to recruit you?
That's a great question, bro. That's a very great question. To answer that, when during that time period, like I was kind of nervous.
For sure.
Because look, it was a dream of mine, and look, it was a lot of pressure. Like, man, there's a lot of pressure. Like, oh, Antoine, where you about to go to school? Or shoot, Antoine, what about this question? Come on this radio. do this. But as far as the coaches, they always had questions. Like they always used to ask my head coach, like, how is he on the field? How is he in the film room? It's like how's his communication talking to his other teammates? You know, and that was kind of like personally, I felt like that was kind of insulting a little bit. Like honestly, because when I was out there just playing, I felt just so free. Yeah. So yeah, that's a main one. Yeah. It's pretty much, yeah, I was just out there free, and I loved it.
How was your speech when it came to playing football? How did, when the coaches see you or view you? But I don't know if there was any more that you wanted to add on to of how your communication was when it came to playing on the field.
Yeah, no, me personally, in my opinion,
yeah,
my speech on the field, like everything just flowed. Like, look, I felt really free. I ain't gonna lie. It's just as like, hey, boom, there's a check here. Like, I make it. There's a check here. Hey, don't do this, do that, that. And then like I personally loved it. But that is something that was always questioned by the people outside in, like the reporters, the coaches, but never my actual teammates. And that was the only thing that mattered, really. How about yourself, bro? Like, man, look, I know that you played the quarterback position, and you had to talk all day.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, I think that's a great question, but I think like in high school where it kind of got like, man, tough. You know, I think in high school I started to really like deal with a lot more just anxiety and a lot of pressure. You know what I'm saying? Because even too, like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, when you in the game, you got like 30 seconds to get to play, or shoot, maybe not even 30, but I think in high school maybe it's been a little longer. But I think like being able to speak under like a time frame of pressure, it was tough. You know, I mean, a lot of people don't know. I mean, but there was actually I was actually in one game where I couldn't say the cadence, and I was like down, said, and I had to call a timeout. You know what I'm saying? And my coach said, "Man, why you call a timeout?" You know what I'm saying? And so then I went to my coach and said, "Man, I think I seen a defensive player move on the field." But I was lying to him. Like, I lied because I didn't want to like be honest with him in the moment that, like, man, I couldn't speak at the line of scrimmage, so I had to call a timeout. Man. And so, like, I mean, that stuff, that happened just one time, but I think later as I got into college, like, you know what I'm saying, it got more like it got more amped up. But I remember like in high school, like I'd be in the huddle, one of my teammates was like, "Hey, bro, man, he would like, one of my teammates that was in the huddle, he was like, "Man, say that and play." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, like, which I understand we in a game, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, man, I don't even got no tools right now to be able to like get out of the situation that I'm speaking like this. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like it was like I was out of control. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I was like, even though I was speaking, and I mean, I think that game, I threw some touchdowns. I think I threw a touchdown that game, but like, even though I was playing, you know what I'm saying, I was still trying to really navigate like speaking under pressure without having no tools. And so there's moments where I shut down at different points, or you said I had to call a timeout, and I was embarrassed. Like, I was ashamed when I got clowned on in the huddle. You know what I'm saying? When you go to the huddle, you're supposed to be telling them to play what we finna do.
Yeah.
And when you say, I'm like, dang, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, if I looked at him, I'm like, yo, like man, come on, bro, you my dog. I mean, I know we in the game, so I'm not saying he's one of my close homies, but like,
as if still was out of pocket though.
Yeah, it was still hard to just communicate like that.
Right. See. So what you just said is how like I felt in the film room.
Yeah.
When a position coach asks Lila like, "Hey, Antoine, what do you do here?" Yeah. Like, all right, man, come on, and then like I'm stuck, like, So look, I feel you on that. How was that like when that you had to like that you had to like explain?
Yeah.
Is their place like in the film room?
I mean, I used to I ain't in the film room, but I think just in general, like, man, I would be rushing to sing the play. You know what I'm saying? Or I would take my time, or like, but I can't take my time on the field because we on the go. You know what I'm saying? But like, so I think some of the times when I had to speak, I just had to like say it quickly, or I kind of feel like the way that I used to deal with my speech is speaking at a louder tone.
Right.
I never was able to speak at my normal voice because I felt like if I wasn't heard enough, that's the only way I could feel I can only feel like I could be heard. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but I think it really got to me. I think it really got to me in college though.
Why? What makes you say that?
Man, I think in college, I mean, I'm saying it's playing the JUCO. Like, I mean, first it was. I mean, like there's one instance my sophomore year, first game of the season. I think we were playing against we were playing against Shasta, and everybody came out to come see me play. But I was anxious that game. I was stressed, and so I was afraid of like losing my position on the field. You know what I'm saying? So I had that fear there. But even too, like I know that when I'm under pressure or when I deal with a lot of pressure, I have a hard time speaking. So I think first quarter of the game, we were even too. I mean, it was kind of back in the summertime. One of the coaches said, "Hey, we're gonna come to one of your games," and I didn't know that the coach was gonna pull up to this particular game.
Right.
And I didn't know that off the top of my head. Oh, this coach is coming. I didn't know that, but I think as I'm going in this game, I'm excited. Family there, everybody there, the whole gang there. So I'm like, okay, we on game. And so, so kind of going to my first game, like. First play, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing all right. I made a mistake. Second play, I'm doing all right. But I think when I made that mistake, it added more pressure. So I started getting more afraid.
So were you like a trash talker? Because I was a trash talker. That's where I felt more comfortable.
Oh, for sure. I mean, most of my my teammates would really say that. I mean, I didn't stutter when I cussed. You know what I'm saying? So when I was hot, you know what I'm saying? I was like, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? And then they're like, oh, Vondell don't stutter when he cusses. You make him mad or get him mad. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So that's kind of what it was.
Man, my coaches used to. Well, my high school coach.
Yeah.
Man, look. RP Coach D is, but he brought something out of me that no one could really, because man, he used to dog me out.
Yeah.
But it's that real tough love, like one practice.
Yeah.
Man, look, like I came home crying. It was just it was just, man, look, it was overwhelming, man. It was just, I think I lost my starting spot for at practice and shoot, man, look, all type of stuff.
No, I mean that's kind of what happened to me. Like after, so back to the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the game, and so man, there was one play where I felt so overwhelmed and so much pressure that I told my teammates to line up without even telling them to play.
Dang, that's
but
wild.
You can't do that on the field. But because like I couldn't get the words out in time. So I said, go line up. And my teammates started to look at me with their palms up. I'm like, line up. But I didn't want to have to tell them to play because I was struggling to say to play. And so then from that play on, the coach benched me. Second string came in. He did his thing. I applauded him. He came in. He took the job. And man, I went from second string. Then I went to third string the whole season. So, man, I got humbled. You know what I'm saying? But
sure.
I actually appreciated that I appreciated that actual moment when I actually got like benched, because it actually helped me realize like what really matters. Like it only like football matters, but like my voice matters. And I felt like going from elementary school, going to high school, going to college, I sort of ignored my speech, but I also tried to deal with it on my own. But I think being humbled at one of the times in my season that it was a year for me, because I still got a call saying I got a scholarship.
There we go.
But I feel like I needed that moment to sit down and be like, yo, what really matters? Like, okay, man, my speech matters. I started to realize that, okay, like even though I got a speech impediment, I'm like, okay, like me not taking this on is starting to affect my relationships.
Yeah.
And I enjoy relationships. And so that's when, like, after college, I went to go, you know what I'm saying? I went to speech therapy and all that stuff, and it was there. It was good.
So did you ever take speech classes like as a kid, right?
Sure, I took them as a kid, but then from there on, I think I started. My first therapy session when I was I think I was like 20. I'm 24 right now.
Yeah, okay.
It was 20.
Dang. So okay. Hey, so that you said that made you really tackle it.
Yeah. Because I feel like you know how it is when you get humbled. It's tough getting humbled. It don't feel good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the way that I walked up, like I felt so defeated. I was like, man, like I need help. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt embarrassed. I felt defeated. I felt ashamed. All my friends were there. I felt so bad, because I think when you get pulled out of a game, you think it's because you're not performing on the field.
Right.
But they didn't know that like my communication was the actual issue that got me out of the game.
Right.
Because I felt like if I was to really communicate as well, I would have made plays. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I do make some bogus mistakes on the field.
Bonehead mistakes.
For sure. But I do think that like communication is a key as being a quarterback. You need to be able to handle that. And I think I did not have the tools to handle situations while I was under pressure. And so I felt like after that season, I was like, yeah, okay, I need to get help. And then, and I always appreciate my girlfriend, because she was like, hey, I think you need to get help. And when she says that, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna need some help.
So she kind of pushed.
She did.
That. So she kind of pushed you to, like, hey, bro, that you need to step your game up.
She did. I remember. I think we were dating at the time or something like that, and she was like, I remember this car ride we had, and she was like, she basically told me, you're bigger than football, and that kind of shocked me. I was like, man, no one in my life, other than my mom, was like, hey, you're bigger than football. And I was like, oh yeah, she the one. She different. She different. So I was like, yeah. No one else in my life hasn't told me that. So when she was like, hey, I think you need to go get some speech help, I was like, all right. Because I do think that like there's things that she sees in me that I don't see. Right. So I was like, okay, I need to humble out and see like what that really means. And so when she told me I need to get some speech help, I was like, all right. And that's when I think after football season, I was praying one day. Nah. I told God, I was like, yo, God, like, I need some help. I need to get help like right now. And I was like, all right. And so straight up, I went on Google. I went on Apple Maps. You know what I'm saying? And I typed in speech, and whatever clinic pulled up, I was gonna go to, and it took me to a clinic out in Lake Merritt. So I drove. So I drive there. I'm out, and I get there, open the door. I was like, hey, I need some help on my speech. Can you help me? And so we sat down. So, okay, we can do this, we can do this, and do this. I was like, okay, cool. Like as long as we can get some speech help, you know what I'm saying, it's good. And so that was like my journey of like starting to get help is when I started to actually open up to speech therapy in a way.
That's what's up, bro. Yeah, that's what's up. And I bet And I bet that speech therapy really cost you an arm and a leg, boy. Arm and a leg. Nah.
It was cool.
Like, see, can't move. I'm from like even with a career, at school, and just etc. Man, it's like SJSU, and I feel like me personally, like look, I ran from it. I ran. I mean, like, look, like I would talk
for sure.
Like I would talk about it, but not really dig like on how it affected my overall well-being. And that took some time. That took some digging, man.
Yeah, because I think even too, like kind of like how I dealt with my speech was like, I think in the past, like, you know what I'm saying, I would smoke, you know what I'm saying, like in the past, like in high school, I would, you know what I'm saying, I would try to cope with it, probably like with smoking, being with the wrong crowd, and I think that like I feel like it was important for me to like not only just get speech therapy, but like I think like in high school, like I started to realize that like, man, the way I dealt with my speech wasn't actually in a healthy way. You know what I'm saying? Like I started to really like, I think that like I was so insecure about my speech that I started to befriend people who got more attention, that were more quote unquote bad, that have more like respect in school. So that could be, I'm hanging out with, I don't know, people who sell drugs or people who were in the streets. I started to befriend them because I was so insecure. I was like, man, I know I'm not getting no love, like me having a stutter, so let me be with them. So I started to really like befriend the wrong crowd. So that's kind of how I cope with it. Yeah. And it got to a point, there was actually one point in my life where like, you know, it got to a point I started hanging around these type of environments. And one point in my life, I actually was like, I was at a brawl and people were fighting and stuff like that. And somebody went to their car, you know, and started shooting in the air, and everybody left me alone by myself. And so I started running by the airport. Next thing you know, SWAT team cars like pulled up, and I'm like I'm like in the grass, like I'm soaking wet, everything, and it's in the SWAT team, and the people out with AR-15s talking about put your hands up, or basically we got the right to shoot.
This is in Alaska, right?
Alaska. You know what I'm saying? I was like terrified, you know what I'm saying? But like, as I look back at it now, I'm like, oh, because I didn't actually know how to deal with my insecurities and my speech, it started to actually lead me down a path that like I was starting to actually regret. You know what I'm saying? Because I was doing things that I knew that was bad, but I also was doing things that I know that I didn't want to do. So I started to actually fall into that peer pressure because I wanted security, I wanted love, but I was finding that stuff in the wrong areas. You know what I'm saying? But I started to find more security like when I was 20, or when I was more around 20, because that's when I started to like, you know, actually start tapping, having a relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? But even too, you know, having speech therapy, but even having friends that actually respect me, and they care about me. So
right. And shoot, and even to add to that speech therapy part too, and shoot, with a relationship with God really really help out the heart, like emotional side of the piece too. That also what had helped out me is just realize like, oh snap, I feel some type of way about this stuff. That stuff was big. But and also look, I forgot to tell you too, the reason why that I signed to Cal was because they had offered at speech class, right? But when I got to Cal, right? Man, we had signed up, boom. But look, I kept falling asleep like in the speech class because, you know, being an athlete, that stuff is a whole job. So, yeah, man. Look, though, I just applaud you for even taking that step.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but so quick question. No one in your family have like in your family or in like Alaska have a speech impediment problem?
Nah, no one in my family that I know of that has a speech impediment. It's just me.
Who did you know like before that you came out here like that had a speech impediment problem?
I didn't know anyone for real. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I didn't. I didn't. You know what I'm saying? You said. I didn't know anyone who had a speech impediment for real. It was just you fool. You was the one that I actually knew that had a speech impediment. It was you.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's what I mean. Honestly, I was praying like one day in my dorm when I was in LA. I was like, man, I want to meet someone who respects me who I am, but also I want to meet somebody who had the speech impediment, man, just like me. And then I feel like, you know, God kind of, God kind of orchestrated that, you know what I'm saying, and meeting you, and now we like the best of friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
dang.
yeah. Honestly, I wanna share the scripture though. It's in Exodus 4:10. It says, but Moses pleaded, "Oh Lord, I'm just not a good speaker. I never have been, and I'm not now. Even after you've spoken to me, for I have a speech impediment. Who makes mouths?" Jehovah asked him. "Isn't the eye the Lord who makes a man so that he can speak or not speak, see or not see, hear or not hear? Now go ahead and do as I tell you, for I will help you speak well, and I will tell you what to say." This scripture kind of hit me because I was like, man,
that's deep, bro.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Whether I have a stutter or not, like, God, you know what I'm saying? He was like, God gave me this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think as a young age, I didn't realize, you know what I'm saying? I didn't realize that, okay, like, God gives everybody weaknesses, you know what I'm saying? But I think that, like, when I read that scripture when I was like, I think I was 19, I was like, man, okay, that's when I started talking. You know what I'm saying? That's when people were like, man, you need to shut up now, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I started talking too much, you know what I'm saying? But
man, bro, look, I tell you that stuff all the time sometimes.
That scripture kind of cool because I think, honestly, man, I think that, like, it helped me with therapy because I think even before, man, having a relationship with God helped me actually, like, dive in deep in my thoughts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, man, I had a lot of actual, like, man, I had an actual, I had a lot of, like, just a lot of self-hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, self-hate, like, you know, I hated the way I sounded. I hated the way I spoke. I was always afraid. I was always anticipating, like, when I wanted to go speak to somebody.
Right.
I was afraid what they gonna think, what they gonna say. You know what I'm saying? And I was always, like, embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to face those thoughts when I used to, like, feel like defeated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, there'll be times where you know, where, like, I want to engage in a conversation and I can't even engage and I gotta just walk away knowing that I can't even speak. And so it happens like that. You know what I'm saying? I was just really defeated, but the scripture kind of helped me. It was like, oh, like, I can continue having confidence in my speeches because, like, God gave me this. You know what I'm saying? So I can actually, instead of hating it, I can actually appreciate it.
Yeah, it's like, look, a close friend told me that your stutter is not, like, look, it's not a challenge, but it is a superpower. No. Like, look, it makes us unique.
Yeah.
Unique at certain points.
Yeah.
But for a while, like, that stuff is just hard to live with.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah. I mean, I think even too, like I think even for myself, but even those who do stutter, like, I think even too, like, like when I changed my when I chose to change my mentality about my speech, that's when my speech got better. Like I stopped playing victim. I stopped playing I stopped blaming people. I stopped blaming circumstances. I stopped blaming I can't speak. And I think even being a person who stutters, I know I could fall trapped in that victim mentality, but when you actually choose to switch your mindset, you can actually overcome it. I mean, my therapist always told me, I told her I came in therapist, I was like, man, I want to fix my voice. And she was like, hey, you may not be 100%, but we can get you fluent. And I was like, okay, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? But I think that when I stopped playing that victim mentality, my voice, my voice, man, changed. I started the first time, bro, I was never able to say my name at a coffee joint. You know, when you go to Starbucks, it'd be you want whole milk, you want half milk, you want caramel, you want chocolate. You know what I'm saying? and then at the end they'll say all right, it is $5.85. Can we get your name? You know what I would say?
What do you say?
I would say I would say my middle name is Ray instead of saying my actual full name, Vondell.
Gotcha.
Because I couldn't say it.
Yeah, but that's real.
But I didn't deal with that until I was 20, bro. 20 is when at 20 years old, that's when I was able to be when they say, "What's your name?" I'd be like, "My name is Vondell."
How was it? You know, when that you in school and stuff like that, and everyone had to say,
their names.
Their names.
Yeah, I mean, I said my name, but it probably took me some more time to say my name.
Yeah.
But it was just more tough though.
Yeah,
you know
I feel you.
But yeah, man. I do think the biggest thing. How did you start to how did you start to overcome your speech?
Man, how did I overcome? Well, personally, I don't feel like I have yet. It's a ongoing thing. It's I have not mastered it yet.
Sure.
You know, it's something that I'm gonna always have to practice on.
Yeah.
Always have to talk about.
Yeah.
Always have to deal with you know, man, look, it takes a lot of practice still. Still takes a lot of practice. But look though, I will tell you this though, I'm better today than I was yesterday. I know that. And it's just taking one day at a time.
Yeah.
And shoot, some days, yes, are worse than others.
Yeah.
For sure. With the anxiety, with the stresses in the world, with because this world is man,
it's dark.
This world is a dark place, man. Look, it's so cold, dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was yours. Yeah, I think that's why it's also important too. I think even for those who do stutter, I think that if you have a stutter, you know what I'm saying? Don't give up, don't quit.
All right.
Don't quit because I think when you start to quit, you just get comfortable. You get comfortable and you end up getting this negative mindset of man, I can't change or I can't speak.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not about those factors. It's all about man, how can you get better every day? I know it's tough. Even for people who don't stutter, you know what I'm saying? They don't really realize people who do stutter, it takes us more effort. Sure. It takes us more, bro, sometimes we can't even hold our breath when we speak it. You know what I'm saying? But I think that they need to know, man, it takes a lot more energy. It takes more effort. It takes more out of us. And we get tired after we make a few blocks or a few hiccups.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And one of my worst fears is that, man, no matter how many times that I keep on speaking around my say, is that person in front of me going to have the capacity to sit and listen to me and understand me, even when I keep making these hiccups?
So I got a question. I got a question for you. So have you ever so with these type of
Encounters?
with these type of blocks, right?
Yeah.
Had you ever got mad at yourself?
Oh, for sure. I mean, man, there's times where like I'm even praying when I'm like even times when I'm praying to God, I was like, man, God, I don't even want to talk today. I don't even want to. I mean, and there's times where like, I mean, even like I think it was like a few weeks ago, I was saying what's up to this dude in the student union, and like I really wanted to say what's up to him, but like I couldn't get the words out, so I was practicing on myself, and trying to prep myself ready to say something.
Right.
And as I continued that I couldn't get the word out, I had to slowly just walk away.
Dang, that's tough. And
so like it's moments like that, and I felt like embarrassed. Tough. I felt ashamed. I was like, man, I'm a failure, or I feel like I can't do this. But then I had to learn how to just forgive myself. And that's like something I actually learned in speech therapy, is that like I think I don't actually have a lot of self-compassion. Like I don't, man, forgive myself because I'm so hard on myself all the time. I'm like, man, I gotta speak now. I gotta do it right. I gotta do it right now. But it's not about being perfect. I have a hard time getting that self-compassion. And so I used to be speech therapist. You need to have compassion on yourself. I'm like, nah, like I ain't get it right yet. You know what I'm saying? But she's like, but that that compassion on yourself allows you to actually try again. So I feel like when I didn't give myself like when I never forgave myself, I never wanted to continue speaking. But when I forgave myself, I was like, all right, I can try again.
Yeah, no.
So how would that make sense?
Yeah, that should be encouraging. Shoot.
Yeah.
See, me, like I'll be mad. It's like, look, I can talk like so. Look, I can talk to myself. Like, oh yeah, Antoine, come on, like, come on, it's time to get your act together, man. Like it's, but I don't feel like I was quiet. That's what I'm not gonna do, because I feel like our voice need to be heard at a point in time too. And some people don't have patience, you know, and look, like I think over the years, I was just like, hey, look, if you can't wait while I'm done talking, like we don't need to be talking. And which that can be like kind of arrogant, but it's like, man, if that you laugh or something like that, it'd be like, all right, well, that's my weakness there. Yeah, look, I would love to see what's in your what's in your toolkit that you hiding in there, huh? It's like, nah, but yeah, that was just something. But no, look, I can relate to the anger part. Like, look, especially man on these blocks where it's like, you can't really say it, and people don't really understand what that feels like.
For sure.
So yeah, it was just that's something that is that me also seeing you.
Yeah.
Like
you good.
Kind of. You know, look, man, that stuff is encouraging. I see that you is trying to be that African American, like as a speech pathologist.
I'm trying to, bro.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
That's big, bro.
I appreciate you sharing that, bro.
All good.
You doing good with your speech too, man.
For sure, bro.
Before we end though, there's a couple of things we want to leave with you guys.
Yeah.
I think for me, I mean, one thing I would say, like if you're a young kid who stutters, or even if you're a little older, like I would say, kind of like I said earlier, man, like don't quit, don't give up. there's still opportunities and there's still ways that your voice can change. And even too, look in the lens of other people, because they need you too. They need you to be they need you to be an example, man, to them. Don't quit and don't quit and continue to keep on speaking, because you know what? I mean, when you keep trying, you're gonna overcome it. But it may not be perfect, but you're gonna feel like you can overcome it, and you can. So don't doubt yourself. And number two, I would say, even if you're a teacher or you're a clinician, have patience. Have patience when it comes to those who stuttering. I know sometimes, I interrupt him because I know him at different points, different times, but maybe interrupting those who are speaking is not always been helpful. I think that always, and always ask questions, always put a smile on your face when you see someone who stutters, because it's vulnerable to them. And I think take time to ask questions, or even ask them like, hey, what would be more comfortable for me to do for you right now? Even for them to nod or smile, or even give them gestures that show that you want to listen. Because I think that like people who stutter already anticipate them not wanting to listen. But I think just have a heart to understand, have compassion, and just be willing to to even appreciate them and applaud them after they speak, because we need comfort and we need love too. So that's kind of something I will leave you guys with, is to just show compassion, show love, and show patience. So I appreciate that. What about you, for you, Twan?
Yeah, it's something that I would tell my younger self.
Yeah.
Is, man, to take speech class seriously, but
Yeah,
one,
that's right.
and two is just don't worry about if people like are talking about you. Man, people have their own type of opinion. But don't let that stop you from speaking your mind. Is just knowing that you is that you have an actual voice, and that is important.
Yeah.
And shoot, to all the cops out there, be patient too, man. It's a lot like not everyone speak normally.
Yeah.
And I know there, man, are some fantastic cops out there. But yeah, man, people be nervous too, man, sometimes,
Sure.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all be safe. Like, man, look, I know that it's raining.
Yeah.
Be safe out here, and look, it was like a pleasure. Look, I would like to applaud 90.5. Like, they have an amazing group. Yeah, look, y'all, thanks for see thanks for listening.
There you go, bro.
So
There you go.
yes,
That's
sir.
what's
Yes,
up.
sir. Yeah.
Appreciate you, DJ Don. Appreciate it. All right, y'all. You have a good night.
That man DJ Dom and his thing.